Welcome to Slash Detroit for July 15th, 2013. Today's episode is brought to you by Pure, Iowa.
And more beautiful than a piece of art. And the inspiration? It's Pure, Iowa.
Where is the state's Pure Michigan travel guide created? You might be surprised. Well, not after that title, MLive, and probably not if you paid attention to today's show sponsor. The answer, it turns out, is Iowa. The campaign wants to get as much quality for as little public money as possible, and apparently Iowa offered the right mix of good and cheap. Besides, if you wanted to hire someone to write enthusiastically about the Traverse City Cherry Fest, wouldn't you want them to come from the most boring state in the union? Detroit's grocery store options are just exploding. First there was Ye Olde Butcher Shop, then Whole Foods, and there's news that Papa Joe's will open a gourmet store in a Dan Gilbert-owned building downtown. But what about groceries for those of us with a conspicuous lack of handlebar mustaches? Fear not, fellow members of the unwashed masses, Detroit's first Meijer is opening July 25th on Woodward and 8 Mile. The larger development is 95% occupied, with stores including Marshalls, Petco, and K&G, and is expected to employ 900 people. A rooftop lounge is now open atop the Detroit Opera House. Called the Coor's Light Sky Deck, it features a view of all the action at Comerica Park, as well as hot dogs, hamburgers, and presumably cans of beer that change color when they're cold. Opera and cheap lager, together again. Detroit Police Chief James Craig announced that the practice of closing police stations during non-regular business hours will come to an end. Quote, "These police stations should not and will not be closed. They're going to be open around the clock in the city of Detroit." Justin Verlander took a no-hitter into the 7th inning as the Tigers ran over the Rangers 5-0 heading into the All-Star break. Detroit City Football Club was upset by the Admirals of Erie 4-1 after a sluggish game from the Maroon and Gold. Detroit FC lost out on an opportunity to travel to Iowa and take on the Quad City Eagles for the NPSL Midwestern Championship. But aside from getting a tour of the Pure Michigan Travel Guide production process, who'd want to go to Iowa anyway? Grab your bike and pedal on over to the Slow Roll tonight from 7 p.m. until 10. Tonight's meetup location is the Anchor Bay at 450 West 4th Street. This week's tour theme is titled, Only in Detroit.